Hey everyone, my name is Gamer Corey and welcome back to another Red Dead Redemption 2 online video. Now in this video, I would like to talk about the top 5 things that I personally would like to see brought into Red Dead Online, and I know that a lot of other players that do play Red Dead Online want to see brought into the community and actually into the game. But if you guys don't agree with this top 5 list, whether it's one or all of them, let me know in the comments section what you guys would like to see added to Red Dead Online, and maybe, just maybe, Rockstar will see some of these comments and think about things that they could add in. Now let's go for like 100 likes on today's video. That would be absolutely amazing if we could hit that, and we'll just kind of go from there. Now, I did just recently release a top 5 things that I would like to see change in Red Dead Online that are currently in the game. So some of those things are going to be brought into this portion, but I'm talking about bringing things that aren't currently in the game and adding to it, just so you guys kind of know the difference. The last video that I had was things that I'd like to see them improve on. Now this is things that they can still improve on, but bring into the game that are not even in the game at all. And some of these things are in the story mode that aren't yet available to Red Dead Online. Now before everybody gets into a fight about whether this is in beta or not, I honestly couldn't agree with you guys more that it shouldn't be in beta if they have microtransactions. Personally, I completely agree that Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive were completely greedy and just wanted to start tapping into Red Dead Online because they knew that players were probably going to leave a little bit, and they wanted to take advantage of people buying the microtransactions with very limited content. I don't know why they decided to do this. I think that they lost players due to this. I could be completely wrong, and a lot of players could come back once some of the content is released. But we'll just have to see what direction Rockstar and Take-Two Interactive decide to actually take Red Dead Online here in the very near future. But let's go ahead and get started with the top 5 list, and just know that these are in no particular order, but these are just things that I would like to see brought into Red Dead Online. Now, coming in at number 5 is the addition to improvements on the free roam. Now, you're like, whoa, time out. You already talked about this, and like I mentioned before, I do have a video about things I would like to improve, and one of the topics was free roam. But I want to expand on that. We have stranger missions out there. Why can't we have heists, home invasions, bank robberies? I know that kind of goes along with the heist, but train robberies. Just a lot of opportunities that we could spread out around the entire map, but bring into free roam. You can get a lobby, you know, of 4 or 5 people that could do, you know, like, we'll just call them a heist right now, because that's what I'm going to try to call them, is just heists in general. And I mean train robberies, stagecoaches, banks, home invasions, things like that are all considered a possible heists. Now those are all subcategories in those specific heists, but it's a huge area that Rockstar could easily implement in the game because it's already in the story mode. And they've done it with some of their past games like Grand Theft Auto Online, and it wouldn't be that hard to do. They already have the know-how to do it from previous games, so let's incorporate it in there. I think a lot of players would come back and continually play Red Dead Online if heists were available in Red Dead Online. Now, I personally would love to do all of the ones that I mentioned. Probably one of my #1 things that I would like to do is, just because it is the wild west, is robbing banks. I would probably participate in that all the time because that would really make me personally feel like an outlaw. I'm thinking like Jesse James, you know, that kind of. It's not really Wild West, but that's what I think of. I think of an outlaw like that. And it doesn't always have to be Wild West. I'm not talking about like the frontier when it was first being established, but I'm talking about outlaws that like Billy the Kid or, you know, Jesse James, things like that that just really stick out from past that can easily be incorporated into this game, which would be absolutely amazing if they would do that. Now, I'm not talking about using real people, but I'm talking about just some of the things that are offered that actually truly happened that they could easily incorporate. But one of the #1 things is people are saying, I don't feel like an outlaw in Red Dead Online. And that's kind of what we're supposed to be as. We're supposed to be a bad guy to a certain degree, or the ability to be the bad guy if we want. Now, one thing that I like about Red Dead Online is that we can choose our honor, and you don't have to participate in the heist by any means, but it would be a huge option. So #1 on my list, honestly, is having heists available to all players. Now, the next thing that I would really like to see added is I would like to see the Trapper from the story mode added to the game. That would give people the option to customize their clothes a little bit more and actually have the opportunity of being able to have something that's a little bit more personal for some of the kills that they had. Whether it be, you know, like maybe it have an option of bringing something like of the legendary animals in. Something that we can actually make really good money with, but we have to bring our posse with in order to get that legendary animal. Now, how cool would that be to have 4 people in your posse, bring them to, say, the legendary alligator, and you have to team up, and then you all get a portion of that. Now, you all get paid a little bit because it would be a team effort, but then you would all get access to have that gator skin or whatever article of clothing that you could potentially make with that. Now, if you wanted to get more articles of clothing from, say, the legendary alligator and the Trapper, you would be able to do it multiple times. I mean, I don't know if that legendary portion of it would whatever, just because you shouldn't be able to have more than one legendary animal. I'm just kind of throwing some options out there, but just the idea of having the Trapper in general, because that's the specific thing that I'm talking about as far as bringing something into Red Dead Online, would be really amazing if we could have the option to customize and go and get certain pelts and wear them. I personally would like that. I think that would be really cool, and I know that a lot of players from the story mode love the Trapper, and they would love the idea of actually bringing the Trapper into Red Dead Online. Now, the next thing that I would like to see brought into Red Dead Online is properties. Just properties in general. Now, this could be homesteads, ranches, businesses. Say you could own, maybe you could own the gunsmith, or a stable, or the butcher. I think that'd be really cool if you could actually own some of those things and kind of develop where you want your character to be. Now, do you want your character to be, you know, a heist, so that way you're kind of, you know, maybe you're a mountain man, we'll just kind of say, and that's what you're kind of striving to get to, and you want that specific type of ranch. Maybe you want the sheep, or the horned sheep, or whatever it might be in the game, and you want those specific things. That you could actually have a ranch, pick a location, and that location you would get an opportunity to choose what type of animal that you would like to have, whether it be cattle or pig or whatever it might be. Just say like tumbleweed for an example. Say you down there, and you get something specific to that region because that's where you decided that you wanted your ranch to be. And every state in Red Dead Online and just Red Dead Redemption in general would be available to you, but then depending on which one you chose, you would have a option to choose very specific and unique animals to that specific state. Now, that just kind of sounds really awesome to me, but just properties in general would be an amazing option to have here in Red Dead Online. Now, coming in at #2, I would like to see passive mode to be brought into the game completely. Now, I'm not saying your own private server, but public passive mode. I know a lot of players that hate being griefed. They don't like things being stolen off their horse, but they want to be able to play with other players. So, you know, they could see them, but they couldn't do anything about it. Now, I don't know how fun that would necessarily be, because it's not really going to be an option, and I'm trying to think outside of the box right now with what really could be done in a passive mode in a public session, but I just feel like a lot of players would really like to see, and I know that I would like it to a certain degree, because when I'm not playing with posse members, I really just want to be by myself. There's not really any reason to interact with any other players, and that's kind of what's in the back of my mind, because when I'm out doing hunting and fishing, I don't really care about other players around me. Now, if there's a reward for being in a completely public session, like just throwing this out there, like Grand Theft Auto, when you sell like your goods from your nightclub or your bunker, you get a bonus because there's so many people in the lobby. Maybe when you go hunting and fishing and you bring your stuff back to the butcher, in the process of, while you're doing that, you know, in public mode, you would be able to be griefed in passive mode or something like that. I don't know. I don't really have a great idea, but that's kind of what's on the back of my mind right there. Now, for the last thing, which I just want to touch on it really quickly, is the option of a bounty. Now, that should be brought into Red Dead Online. Now, I'm not talking about the bounty hunters. I'm talking about putting a bounty on somebody. If a griefer is coming after you, you should have every right to be able to pay somebody X amount of dollars so that they will target that specific player, and you're going to get a crap load of people doing that. The bigger the bounty, the more people come after them, and then you can see them anywhere on the map, wherever they're at, and they're going to be targeted like crazy. Like, say you have a max of like $100 bounty that you can place on somebody, and that would just completely allow you to escape the griefer, but it would allow other people to make some extra cash and take care of a griefer. Now, how awesome would that be? But those are kind of the top 5 things that I would like to see brought into Red Dead Online. If there are other things that you would like to see, please leave a comment down below, because I would love to hear what you guys have to think. And if you really do agree with what I would like to see brought in, then leave a comment down below showing your support and letting me know that that's exactly what you would like to see brought into Red Dead Online. I think this game has a huge opportunity at being absolutely amazing, but Rockstar needs to listen to its fans, its players, and maybe we'll get some support and grow as a community and make this great game awesome if they do that. But that is all the time that I have for in today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video in any way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. It would help me out a lot and is greatly appreciated. But until next time, YouTube, you guys keep doing what you're doing because you're already doing it, and you guys stay gaming.